Thank you very much. And here we are. And let's see, we're waiting for some stream. Let's see, we play some streaming music here. Oh, I love this music. It's such a classy show, Allison. Unbelievable. Okay, now let's find the real opening here. Here we go. Okay.
So you wanna be
So you want to be
a
a
cool
really cool kid.
hanging with the insect,
Hanging with the inset.
looking real
Looking real. Look who I've got with me.
cute.
Prolific author extraordinaire, Alison M. McBain. Hear all about her in a minute.
So you
I
wanna
got a gift for her. Here we go. Wait for the drum roll. Bop, 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 bop. Thank you very much to the audio. That is my good friend Serge Hoffman singing my lyrics. He composed the music. Thank you, Serge. We'll save that for the outro of the show. I'm Bonnie D. I'm here with Alison M. You know, we only go by last initials. Her name is McBain, McBain. Find her. She writes a lot of great books. Okay, enough about that. Allison, just briefly, how are you before we start? What's going on with
I'm
you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, it's nice of you to ask. Are you ready for the big reveal here?
I am. Yes, very
Okay.
excited.
Okay, recording's working and we're streaming and everybody's happy. Here we go. You may know us well, Bonnie D and Allison M. Two. Two, TOO in cap saucy dames, living our passions true. We're here today in social's virtual embrace. You got to give yourself a hug right now. Sharing unique insights in this very special space. Welcome to We Dish, where we've come to play, lightening up life in our uniquely fresh way. I'm welcoming my special guest, Allison M., to my live streaming latitude. After my rhyming intro, she'll add more with attitude. So here's dedicated to you, Allison. From Alberta's chill to California's sun, Allison's lifelong adventure had only begun. A child with a pencil, imagination unbound, in redwoods and silence, her voice found its sound. A heritage blended east, west, and sky. Japanese roots where resilient won't die. Allison's grandfather's courage, her family's song, became in her stories what's righting the wrong. A latchkey explorer through forests and through dreams, Allison learned how the world's never quite what it seems. Through music and motion and pages well read, whole universes danced inside of her head. From Silicon Valley to Ocean View Hills, Allison gathered her stories with wonder and skills. A reader of Bradbury, Butler, and Tan, she followed their starlight and drew her own plan. Degrees in old tales and histories vast, she stitched them with futures, rewiring the past. A scholar, a drummer, me too, a poet, and a sage, Allison tuned life's dissonance onto the page. Through heartbreak and hustle, New York's neon glow, she bartended nights where ideas would flow. From soup shop flyers to ballroom grace, every job gave Allison spark, a new space. Then motherhood called with its chorus of noise, three daughters, her muses, her chaos and joys. Between lullabies, diapers, and bedtime cheers, Allison wrote through the laughter and wiped off the tears. From her book Rose Queen's Enchantment to New Empire's Might, her novels breathe fire, her prose ignites life. From fantasy's magic to alt history's gleam, she conquers each genre and builds a new dream. Allison founded Fairfield Scribes Press and nurtured each voice, giving young authors a platform, giving them a choice. Then Scribes Micro online magazine was born, an online delight where stories found readers and futures took flight. When the world hit pause, Allison pressed create, pivoting to passion instead of to fate. From Connecticut halls to Canada's snow, she was buoyed by courage wherever she'd go. And when AI stirred headlines along with its fear, Ellison wrote 35 books in just 1 year. Her author versus AI project, pure human art, each word from her hands, each line from her heart. Now Alison McBain stands bold and stands free, a true saucy dame of creativity. From Alberta's start to the writer she is today, Alison crafts fresh worlds in her unique and fearless way. What'd you think?
Oh, all the applause. That's amazing.
Was that you? Did you recognize yourself?
Yeah, definitely. But in such a wonderful poetry, it was amazing.
I'm glad. And let me finish this up now. We're here on We Dish, chatting on life's score, culture, music, food, and oh so much more. Join us live or on demand. Day or night, we won't be here at night, but that's why they invented on demand. And enjoy our dishing with shared delight. Meet us for real here in our live streaming glow. We're glowing, Allison. We're glowing. We're glowing. Comments are welcome. Just play nice. We know who you are, you know. We dish to Saucy Dame and Saucy Dame too, Bonnie D and Allison M, dishing on life's fun. A little French pour vous. There we go. So officially welcome, Allison, and I'm delighted to have you. I met you through our colleague, your PR agent, and a colleague of mine, Mickey Mickelson in Canada, and he introduced us a couple of years ago, and you've been on several of my others. You just hosted my Happy Birthday to You show about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, there we are. So, yeah, we're seeing each other a lot. Well, I appreciate your accepting this invitation. And let's kick this off with going to our music. We want to find out a little bit about you and a little about me because this is a conversation, not an interview. I have to tell people I don't do interviews. I don't do yada, yada. Answer the question. 37 seconds. Okay, be quiet. We'll go to the next question. We're having a conversation. So, and by the way, let's wave hello to live streaming on LinkedIn, on Facebook twice, and on YouTube. Happy to be coming out into the world right now through our streaming glow. Allison, let's start with music. Some favorite songs that mean something to you, that parallel your life's journey, that have any significance, or just songs that you like. What's your playlist? Talk to us.
Well, it's very eclectic. So, I was a bit young for them, but I fell in love with the Beatles when I was young. They're one of my favorite bands, and I could probably sing along to almost all of their songs, although
What's
I
your
won't
What's your
torture your
favorite Beatles
ears.
song? What's your favorite?
I love the song I Feel Fine because it is just about being okay. Everything is, you're in love, you're okay, life is just on an even stream. And I feel like that so much. And plus it has a beautiful bass guitar solo
Great
in there.
song.
So like I really like it a lot. It's just one of those like feel good, um everything's great song. And
Nice,
I feel like there's
nice harmonies, nice
they
lyrics. You know
do,
what? And
yeah.
you can understand the lyrics in the Beatles songs, can't you? Most
That's
of them.
true. You
There you go.
can. And sing along. Like a lot of their
Yes.
songs are so easy to sing along with,
Yes.
and they just make you feel happy. So I'm like, there's a lot of like darkness and heartbreak and in music. And, when I want something fun, something to set me in a good mood, I just listen to the Beatles, and especially I Feel Fine. That's my favorite.
Yay. Give me some more songs.
Well, I used to play violin. I haven't taken it out recently. It's still in my closet. But one of my favorite things to play was Vivaldi's Four Seasons, because speak of music that does everything. Like the Four Seasons, it's fast, it's slow, it showcases everything that a violin can do. And it's just so much fun to play. And so, like, I still enjoy listening to it. I know it's used in a lot of commercials and movies and everything, but it's still such an amazing piece. And I
Allison,
like
how
to
old
listen
were
to it.
you when you started? That wasn't in the bio. How old were you when you started playing violin? And did
That's a
you
good
play with a
question.
group, with an orchestra, with a combo, with a trio? I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
know.
So I started in middle school, I would say. So maybe grade seven,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And this is part of the power of school programs. So there
Mm-hmm.
was a quartet that came to my school and just played, I forget what music they played, but it was just captivating. And they were asked to, invited to be there. And it just made me want to play violin. Then I started taking lessons. I joined the
Mm-hmm.
school orchestra when I went to high school. I played a little bit in, a local orchestra too, and it was something I loved. I loved to do so much. So like
Wonderful.
definitely keep the music programs in your schools because it
Yes.
can change lives. They really can.
Yes, I played the flute in the junior high school
Oh,
band,
nice.
and I played the piano at my sixth grade graduation. I was taking
Oh,
classical piano
wow.
lessons, and I don't remember what I played, but I was on the grand piano. I think it was a grand in the auditorium at PS 98 in Douglaston, Queens, New York. And I made my own dress. We had a home economics program there in elementary school. And I remember it was an orange plaid, large squares of plaid, orange and pink and white, and probably a little black line here and there. And I had a little velvet choker, a little piece of velvet around my neck with a little cameo or something here. My mother must have given, my parents must have given me, and I played the piano. But I remember the flute. I remember playing the flute in the band. There is something interesting about being part of an orchestra, isn't there, or a band when you're in school, Allison? That the teamwork, the
Yeah,
dis.
it's so much fun to play with others and to see the music take
Yeah.
shape because I mean I did performances by myself, but yeah, it was much more fun I think to play in an orchestra and hear just the complexity of the music that a whole group of people could do together. I also played piano, which was a lot of fun. I sort of, that was like sort of my fun noodling time. I didn't perform on piano.
Hmm.
So I applaud you for getting up in front of everyone for your graduation and doing that. That's amazing.
I was the piano accompanist for the girls' chorus at Bayside High School.
Oh, wow.
And I had to get up on the stage in front. It was a big high school, and I had to get up on the stage and our Christmas programs and whatever else we did. And I had to announce the song, and then I go sit down at the piano. And one of my favorite, I still remember this, was accompanying Little Drummer Boy, brum, brum,
Oh, yeah.
da 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 da, da brum, brum. I remember playing this song, and I had to stand up on this big stage and then accompany them on the piano. I don't know how I did it, but yeah, you're bringing back memories, lady. This is now. I said also that you play drums. Where and when did you play drums?
Oh, so that one,
Yeah.
I won't say that I play well. So my favorite Beatle is Ringo, because he was just like such a happy guy, and he was like, he kept everyone together and was had such a great sense of humor. So I always wanted to play the drums. But at the same time, like, there's so many instruments. I also want to play other ones. So a couple friends of mine, in college times got together, sort of a garage band, and we never left the garage. We never performed. We never did anything. We just sort of got together and played together. And I wanted to play bass guitar from, from the Beatles. That I feel fine. But the lead singer played bass guitar and was like, we don't need to.
Yes, you do.
so,
You need Allison play.
so
Was
like,
it all
yeah,
girls or was it a mixed band?
it was all girls. And
Okay.
so and so they were like, well, we need a drummer. I was like, how hard can it be? Yeah, hit the drums. So I started doing it, and again, I was not good. I did not
Ask Ringo. How hard could it be?
exactly. No, if you do it well, it's definitely hard. The way I did it, it was not hard at all.
I took
So
drum lessons when I
yeah,
was living in Durham because a friend of mine was playing drums and she was sending me little videos. And I said to myself, how hard could it be?
exactly.
And I went and found a school of rock and I walked there for a free lesson. I signed up and I said to the drum teacher, what do I do? He said, well, you put your left foot here, you put your right foot here, you put your left hand here. And I said, how do you do it all? He said, I'll show you. And he did. And I signed up for lessons. 6 weeks later, they said to me, we need another drummer for our second adult band. And these people had been singing
Oh,
and playing together for a couple of years. I was the new kid on the block. And they welcomed me, except the teacher refused to use my name. And he'd say, she's going to play that drum roll now, and she's going to do this. I said, could you use mine? Anyway, wouldn't use my name. But the point was that the first song I played, we had a concert at Motor Co., which was a small event space in downtown Durham, Allison, where it was mostly bleachers on the sides and a stage. And the School of Rock brought 9 bands that day, starting from the
oh.
kids who were 8 and 9 years old who were playing Beatles songs, Allison.
Of course.
See, it all ties
So
together.
fun.
And my band eventually got up and I played Dream On by Aerosmith. What
Oh,
a
nice.
thrill. I had been taking lessons for 6 or 8 weeks at that point in time. And a lot of parents from the younger kids were there, and a friend of mine had brought me, and he was there. And I came off the stage after we did about 5 songs, and people said, oh, you're so good. How long you been playing? And I said, 8 weeks. It's like, what? 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 Anyway, the funny story though, the I alternated with the teacher who had a purple mohawk and stretch pants. Anyway, he was an interesting guy. He was a major rock musician and he played all the instruments. He took over on drums because I was so new. I'd play every other song out of the five or six in the set, and he would play. We would alternate. So at one point, I was doing the cowbell and I was doing the tambourine while he was taking my place on the drums. And we went back. Well, finally, at one point, he had broken a stick. And he goes to sit on the drums and he holds up the stick and he says to me, he called my name for the first time and he said, Bonnie. And he holds up the stick in two pieces, looking at me like, would you please bring me your stick? Because I can't play like this. And I said, and I put down the tambourine and I walked over and handed him the stick. And he said, thank you, Bonnie. It was the first time he ever used my name. And then he gave me back my stick after the concert. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I had to tell you that because yes, and
Nice.
I ended up drumming in a 12-piece Motown cover band at the community where I was living, and
Oh,
I was their
wow.
MC, and I did that for 3 years, and and I had my own Latin band. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. I never said I was great, but I was enthusiastic. Let's just leave it.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you've done so many musical performances on so many instruments. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
And you've written so many books on so many genres. That's even more amazing. See, we all have our instrument. We all have our craft. There we go. And
Yeah.
I talk for a living. You write for a living. Okay. So more music from you. I want to know more. This is fun. Go.
So, another song that I love, or another band that I love, is an 100% Canadian band called Moxie Fruvis, which is a strange name. I don't know if it means anything.
Moxie, what's the second name?
Moxie Fruvis.
Spell.
FRU with the umlaut over it,
Yeah.
the two dots.
Two dots.
VOUS. Moxie Fruvis.
I have to look them up. Okay. Does it
I
mean
know.
something?
I don't know. I should know this. I've been listening to them for like years.
I have to look this up. You
But
keep
yeah,
talking. I'm going to look them
yeah.
up. Go ahead.
They're no longer together, but they had like albums and albums that they released when they were together. And for a while, they and Bare Naked Ladies, which is another Canadian band, were sort of head to
Hmm.
head. They were like the two big bands in Canada that were sort of, competing. Yep, that's them.
Okay. Go ahead.
Um, and and technically, I guess Bare Naked Ladies won because then they got very popular in the US and of course the world then. But Moxie Fruis was popular in Canada.
Yep.
And they have probably one reason why they maybe did make it is they did a lot of political songs.
Yes, political satire, folk pop band,
Yeah.
Thornhill, Ontario, Canada from 89 to 2001. There you go.
Yeah.
The human experience. Thank you for that.
But
I never heard of them.
they were so wonderful in terms of like their lyrics are very poetic, very well written.
Hmm.
And their voices, they did some that were just like barbershop quartets, like all voice and no instruments at all.
A
So they were
cappella.
very talented
Yeah.
singers. So yeah, and also good songs to sing along with.
I will have to look up some of their lore. So they were in effect for 12 years. That's not a short time for a band to be around. That's pretty good. Okay, more music. Give me a couple more. What do you got?
I don't know. I like a lot of the classics, like Simon and Garfunkel, Otis Redding, um, but a lot of them, and again, I don't torture anyone with singing in public, but like,
I try
um,
not to.
I love the ones where I can sing along, and like, and my kids also love to sing along, so we will, um, you know, dance and sing in
That's
our house.
nice.
No one else is there.
That's nice. My mom used to play. I still have her piano. She passed in 2017, and I still cart around her baby grand wherever I move. It's expensive, and I haven't had it tuned in years, but it's here. And once in a while, I'll sit down and bring out some of the books. I have a piano bench filled with her music. A lot of pop songs from 60s, 70s, 80s. She collected those kinds of books, and I took classical. But what was I going to say? I have no idea. She used to play some really, really old songs when my sister and I were very little, and she loved to play a song called Fernando's Hideaway, or maybe it was Hernando's. Da 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 duh. Does this
Oh
ring a bell?
yeah.
And
That's in a
and
lot of
those were the
movies too.
days when mom would have these petticoats that were made of satin and they had ribbons on them and crinoline. And we would go take petticoats out of her class. Were very long, like for a full length dress. She was taller. Obviously, I was little, but anyway, we would put on the petticoats and dance around the living room while she played the piano.
Oh,
A lot of good memories. Oh, you're
yeah.
bringing up
It's so
so
much
much.
fun.
It is, and it's such a
Yeah, it's
connector of parents and cultures and music and kids in bands learning discipline and teamwork and collaboration and respect and fun and yeah, wow. I don't usually get into these kinds of conversations about music on the show, but you're certainly bringing that out. Any more? Any folk
well,
music you like or
music
jazz?
is
Yeah.
a universal, like even if you like a different genre than someone else, like you can still find no one says I hate music, right? It's something
No.
that connects us. And that is the beautiful thing about it. So, like for example, not everyone might have heard of Moxie Fervis, right? Because it's a very Canadian band. But
Totally.
but you can find a connection through the same type of genre of music, even if you haven't heard of a particular band, which is lovely. So,
Very true and lovely.
yeah,
And it's like laughter. Laughter connects us as well, right? Music. You see
it's true.
little kids dancing who can't don't even know the words and it just gets into us. I want to give you some of my favorite songs and I have quite a list, but I'll just run through them. One of my favorite lists of songs is Donna Summer, her discography. I was a disco dancer and an instructor and an exhibitor. My partner, my professional partner, and I did some interesting dance exhibitions at events and on stages and for small groups. And we did parties and discos and we taught line dances and senior centers. This was in Eugene, Oregon. But Donna Summer has a discography, Allison, that tells the story of parts of my life. One is she works hard for the money. She works hard for the money. You may try not to sing, well, I can't help it. And, nobody's fired me yet. Hot stuff. I like to tell people I've been called hot stuff, but I was not a streetwalker in LA or San Francisco, but that was what the song is about. On the radio, well, I still call this radio. I've been doing this for 25 years. No More Tears. Enough is enough is enough. I think that was a duet with Streisand. And I can't die anymore. Yes, I've had my fill of No More Tears. Yes. Last dance, last chance for love. I love those Giorgio Moroder with the machine in the background, the synthesizer with those heavy disco beats. I now dance to Megan Trainor songs in my kitchen. I don't teach
I
anymore.
love Megan Trainor.
Isn't she wonderful?
She is, and her songs are so sassy.
I tell Alexa to play them and I put her on the loudest. And when I go to the store, I leave it playing in my kitchen. So if anybody comes to the front door, they'll hear music and, oh, somebody's home. We can't break in here anyway. And there's a sign on the door that says this alarm is real. A lot of people just put a sign up. And then the other one is I Feel Love, 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 and that great beat. And then the last one is Heaven Knows from the MacArthur Park Suite. And Donna Summer got to number one with her version of MacArthur Park Suite. Richard Harris released it a couple of years before, and he, I think, didn't get higher than number two or number eight, I think it was. But I did a Disco Hawaii contest with my partner, Michael. And we came into da 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 opposite sides of the floor. He did a lift over. I was 97 pounds at the time. He was tall and skinny. His beard was taller, not longer than, yeah, never mind. He was a cool dancer. He was a former Arthur Murray teacher. He lifted me up, spin over the head, death drop to the floor. My skirt spun out over the floor, 6 inches above, set me on my feet. We did our routine. Heaven knows just how much I love you. So that's the discography. Those are the songs. And it wasn't by design, Allison. I was just looking at her discography one day, and all of these titles were just there talking to me. Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting? And I think music does it. Also, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Cyndi Lauper. We know
Oh, of
that one.
course.
You Don't Own
Lovely.
Me by Leslie Gore. There's one of the Independence themes. I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar by Helen Reddy. Here, one of my favorite song lines is from, of course, Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin, 1971. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Don't we live by that? Really?
Yeah. That's a great line, a great song. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hit me with your best shot, Pat Benatar. Respect, Aretha Franklin. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. And one of my very all-time favorites is New Attitude by Patti LaBelle. I got a new attitude. Megan Trainor, I Feel Better When I'm Dancing. And one more to wrap it up. Bill Medley from Dirty Dancing. I've had the time of my life. Oh, now I'm going to cry.
I love
dear.
all those songs.
Oh
Those are
dear.
great.
Yeah, those are my lists and I love them. Okay, now we're at the part of the show where it's called Off the Top, Fast and Furious. Okay. And I sent you a list of topics that we might cover, and I'm going to pick three or four and we'll have a conversation. So, first of all, what's your creativity superpower? You'll give yours and then I'll give mine. I want to know all about it. I think I know what it is, but I want to hear it in your own words. What do you love about it? What do you not love so much about it, if anything, if there are any negatives? So, creativity superpower. Allison, go.
I'd probably have to say the ability to write fast.
Wow. All right. Define
So,
what's fast. What does that
okay.
mean?
So, I can write 1,000 to 2,000 words per hour. And
Say that again. Say that again. How much?
1,000 to 2,000 words per hour, which is my average writing speed. And so I have used that definitely for ghostwriting projects. I'm a ghostwriter, and also for my project last year when I was writing a book a week for 34 weeks. So that was, yeah. So, some authors take more time. I can actually write pretty fast and hopefully pretty well.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Where are you and what's happening around you that you can write that much that fast? Are you in a special room? Is there a music playing? Are there birds chirping outside? Are you at a desk? Are you typing on a laptop, on a desktop computer? You're not handwriting, are you dictating into some writers are dictating into a recording device? What give us a little bit of your process if you don't mind sharing it.
Yeah, definitely. It's all typing. I tend to type really fast. I always have. But yeah, normally I write in my office, but I can write anywhere. I've written in coffee shops, I've written on the bus, like I can very much focus on the story. And my kids joke because like if I'm in the middle of a project, I will be in my office, I'll go in the house, I'll feed them lunch or whatever, talk to them and go back. And I sometimes have no memory of doing any of these things because I will be in my world.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like my brain, 90% of my brain will be engaged with what I'm writing. Yeah, so like the way that I can write fast is I just immerse myself in that world and I immerse myself in that character and I almost like live the experience that I'm writing. So the story just flows. And plus I do a lot of preparation ahead of time before I write a book. I do chapter by chapter outlines, I do character sketches, so I really know the material before I
You're a
sit down and
plotter.
write.
You're a plotter,
Exactly.
not a pantser. Anybody
Exactly.
anybody want to know? A plotter does exactly what Allison's saying, and a pantser writes by the seat of their pants. That's how I do it in
Yeah.
my book, which isn't published yet, but I'll get there. Okay. Very, 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 very interesting. Is there something special about your office where you write? Are there artifacts around? Are the walls a certain color? Is it a special type of a chair? I want you to
Yeah.
paint the scene for us. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
my office, so my favorite color is yellow because it's such a happy color. So my office is painted yellow. And I have lots of little tchotchkes from my kids. My kids make me they're all creative. So they make me little art things, little figurines. So I have those all around me in my office. And then plus, I have some awards on the wall. I have big posters of my book covers there too. So it's sort of like a mix of family and professional. Yeah, it's a great space. I love it. That was like one of my conditions of like, okay, moving to Alberta because we moved here a little over 3 years ago. I was like, I need to find a place that has an office, that has a separate space so I can work in, because I work from home. So
Yep.
yeah.
Very cool. Thank you. I hope I didn't impose by asking you to
Oh
describe the
no,
space,
no.
but
Happy to.
people who are aspiring writers are very often interested in how do successful writers like you, how do you surround yourself? How do you put yourself in a space, a place, whether it's just emotional, mental, spiritual? Maybe I said the same thing three times. Or is there a physical environment that you designed to bring yourself to that flow, that zone, that space? So,
Well, it's definitely different for each writer,
yeah.
because some writers, like I have to write in silence. Like
Hmm.
I don't like I can tune it out, but I don't have music playing in the background. And I know some writers who are like, oh, I can only write when there's music playing. It sparks the creativity. But
Yep.
yeah, I prefer silence because I'm in my world.
When I write, I'm the same. I tend to write my book. I reserve time on the weekends, but sometimes I get busy getting ready for my shows for the following week, and I make an excuse and I don't get to write that day. But Sundays seem to be a day where I think this is a day where it's going to be real quiet. Even though I'm alone here, the world is going to be quiet, and I will get more done. You want to know what my creativity superpower is?
Oh, what is it?
Getting interesting people like you to talk to me.
Well,
That's
that's
it.
easy. We love
Well,
talking to you.
thank you. There's something about these conversations and the way they go, and I enjoy the little sparks of ideas that come from when I talk with people like you, interesting creatives like you, Allison. You bring up ideas and memories in me, like I was remembering sixth grade playing the piano and remembering
Mm.
home ec and the orange plaid dress and the necklace. Uh, your stories help to bring up memories and recollections and ideas in me that help just fuel the conversation rather than interview. Okay, question number three, you got 32 seconds. I don't do that. I enjoy the conversations. I don't think there's a downside to that. I hope not. I don't think so. Okay.
Like it's great to be able to talk to anyone about anything and like spark ideas. That's fabulous.
Yeah, thank
That's a
you.
great superpower.
Okay, next. Okay. Everybody wants to know this, even though I haven't been getting mail about this. 1,000 emails are waiting, and they're all want to know the same thing. How does Allison M start her day? Is it a coffee? Is it a breakfast? Is it an energy drink? Forget about exercise or meditation or affirmations and all that. What does she put into her body that gives her the energy to power this kind of schedule? Okay, Allison, what do you do?
Well, I actually don't eat breakfast. I normally, yeah. So it depends on the day also, because normally with my kids, I'm getting them ready for school.
Hmm.
So after I send them off to school, I normally drink tea. So I do a combination. I used to just drink black tea because I just like the flavor and I have it with like milk and honey.
Oh,
But then I read an
nice.
article somewhere, as you get older, you read these health articles. And so I read an
Yeah.
article saying, oh, green tea is the best.
Uh,
But I don't like the taste of green tea.
yeah. I don't
So
either.
now I mix green tea and black tea. So I'm like, okay, I can do 50-50. This is okay. I can still, and the taste of the black tea overwhelms the taste of the green tea. So I'm like, okay, I'm
Oh,
getting my healthy tea and my unhealthy tea, I guess.
that is fun. Do you have anything to eat? At some point in the first half of the day, you must have some
Oh yeah, I
fuel.
have lunch. Yeah.
Okay, what's a lunch
Um,
then? What is lunch?
oh, it really depends. I'm not a lot of times like as a mom, like I'm like, okay, what leftovers are in the fridge? Just nothing exciting. So if I'm going to make something for myself, like maybe, hard-boiled eggs, apple, maybe a slice of toast,
Oh, you are
I
so
eat very
good.
plain food. I eat very
You are so
simple.
good. You want to know what fuels my day?
And what fuels our day?
I have a special shake I make. I have an individual blender in Hamilton Beach. I'm on my fifth or sixth because I burn out the motors. I use them every single day, at least once.
Oh man.
And I put in about 6 to 8 ounces of 1% milk. I don't like skim, and I'm trying to stay away from full strength milk. I'll put in a couple of teaspoons or tablespoons of dry cocoa, not sweetened, just plain. And I might put a little shake of cinnamon in, and then I add a banana, either a small one in full or half of a large one. They have to be not too ripe. They can't be hard. They can't be, because they'll leave a taste in the back of your throat if they're not ripe enough. They leave like a chalk that I don't
Oh
like.
yeah.
So I put the banana in, break it into a couple pieces. Then if I'm really feeling, ooh, bad, I'll put in a little bit of vanilla ice cream, but we're not telling. And then I sweeten it with raw agave syrup, which is an alternative to sugar. I can't use stevia. I can't use saccharin. I can't use anything that's fake because they leave a funny taste. I can't drink diet sodas either.
Yeah, they have
Oh,
a
too
bitter
bad.
taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an odd, and it stays for about 24 hours. It's very distasteful. There's a good word. And then I'll put in some frozen sliced strawberries, unsweetened. I get a big bag in the supermarket. Keep it in the freezer, Ziploc, and I'll open it up and take a handful. Make the hand feel cold. That's how I know I have enough. And then I put them in and then I blend it. And I recently turned that into a gratitude ritual. About 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I started this. It's the strangest thing. It's not an on off button, it's a pulse. So you can't just push it on and walk away. You have to pulse it and pulse it and pulse it on, and then it goes off when you let the button up. So I'll do a blessings to my daughter and her family, and I name them all. And I close my eyes and say that while I'm holding the button. And then I'll do one to my son and his family. And then I do one blessings to all the people I know who need help, whether they're ill or whether they're sad or whether something's
Oh,
going on
that's
in their life.
nice.
And people I know who have a spouse or a child who is ill or in trouble, people I know who've recently passed away, who I care about. Ooh, and then I'll do a blessing, a gratitude for being me. And I'll give my full name and all my AKAs. And I made a funny word out of that, and I won't tell you what that is. And then I finish. I turn the milkshake off, and then I unplug it. Always unplug my appliances, and then I'll take the plastic cap off and put a reusable plastic straw that I use with the pipe cleaner to make sure it's all cleaned up from the day before. And I'll bring it here in my office, and I'll drink it while I start to work. And that's my early or late morning ritual. What do you think of that?
It's nice to have these things to start your day, because then you're ready to go, really.
Yep. And it gives me a little bit of sweetness. It's not too sweet. And the
Yeah.
banana is the good potassium and the ice cream as well. That's just having fun. And the milk is good for, I don't know, some kind of vitamin D in there. And
Well, that's
it
great.
just makes me feel good that I'm putting this stuff together. And it's easy to make and it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people use banana milkshakes. And when I was buying the frozen strawberries recently, the cashier at the supermarket said, "You make smoothies, don't you?" And I said, how'd you know? And he said, "Well, that's why people buy these giant 5 pound bags of frozen sliced strawberries." I said, "Well, you found me out. There you go." Okay, next topic. Let's see. Something you bought or made or were given that meant something to you that you either lost or broke or it's hiding somewhere or you haven't found it in a while, you haven't used it in a while that you wish you had right now is or in this current stage of your life. So what is it? Something that's not around anymore that you really, really liked. What do you think?
Um, or something that made me happy
Yeah, something that
that I
made you
made.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be an
Um,
earring, it could be a kitchen tool, it could be a
okay.
blanket or a
Yeah,
pillow,
definitely.
anything.
Well, one thing that I like to do, and this is something that my grandmother, helped me with when I was young, was I like to crochet and knit. So she taught me, encouraged me, she gave me, materials for it. And so I still do that today. So I make people things and like
Nice.
scarves or hats or
Nice.
toys, little crochet toys and stuff. So I still do that today, and it just reminds me of my grandmother. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so that's something that makes me happy to do. And I must have, like, speaking of lost, I'm sure I've lost things that I made over the years. I mean, I give them away too, and
Yeah.
I go to craft fairs and I sell
Ah,
little things,
wow.
um, which is fun. Like around this time of year, around Christmas, like you go to craft fairs. But yeah,
And
it's just something like it's a connection to.
you don't eat breakfast and you do all this on tea? I want to know what's in your blood.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness
no, the
gracious.
tea is good. Yeah, the tea is sort of my ritual because it gives me a
Yeah.
moment in the morning
Yeah.
to do it, and like smells bring memories too. So like the smell of tea sort of
Yes.
reminds me, like,
Yes.
okay, I'm getting up. This is
Yes.
time to write or time to,
Yes.
well, unfortunately, return emails sometimes, like,
Yes.
whatever it is. But it's time to get to
Mint
work.
tea. I use mint tea, peppermint or regular mint or peppermint or Earl Grey, Miss Earl Grey, I think, and they now put bergamot in the Earl Grey. Can find
Oh
Earl
yeah, I
Grey
love Earl
decaf.
Grey.
And you know what I do? I open these tinfoil packages of one at a time tea bags. I buy those in the box and they come all sealed, and I just inhale the scent of the whatever the flavor of the tea, and I'll keep that little bag on the counter and won't throw it away right away. and I'll go back and sniff. It has peppermint or the bergamot, however you say it. And I love it. So I'm trying to drink less milk during the day and have hot tea or cold tea. But you reminded me of something. Look what you're doing to me. When I moved in this house, the gentleman who had owned it he fell a couple times. He had some TBIs and he had a stroke, and his daughters moved him up to Maine or somewhere. I'm in Tennessee now. And they sold the house pretty much as is. Of course, the clothes were gone and the silverware and all of that and the towels and the sheets. But I mean, the curtains were still here. All the beautiful light fixtures were here. The barbecue grill on the back porch was here. The flowers were still in the flower pot outside. Everything was here, and it was cabinets and just anywhere. But I discovered that in this huge 800 square foot garage, which was the size of the co-op apartment I lived in Great Neck, Long Island,
Wow.
for 30 years, was the size of my garage. It's a triple garage with a big double door and then it's all connected. I put in new flooring. It's gorgeous. It's like you could live out there with a little heat and air conditioning. So anyway, the point is, I realized there was a pull down ladder. I didn't have the balance to get up. So my friend who helped me move in, she lives across the street, 6 foot tall. She said, pull down the ladder. I'll do it. So we pull down the ladder and she goes up and she finds suitcases. She finds Christmas decorations. She finds a coat and she finds sewing baskets. And Allison, she found these great big storage bins, the kind that are so big and heavy you can barely move them with the big plastic. We're talking I don't know, how by the size of the screen I'm looking at here, with
Yeah.
yarn and knitting and crocheting needles and pieces that the woman who had passed away 8 years before her husband died, and the family had never done anything with them, and they were sitting in this little attic. And we
Yeah.
brought them down, and I kept those bins. So I've got all of her yarns, beautiful yarns and threads. And I sewed my own clothes years ago. There was nothing for sewing, but it was all for handcrafting. So, yeah. And you reminded me that I think in sixth grade we were taught how to knit and crochet. And I made an ice skating skirt that was with that black yarn that has the little gold thread. You ever seen it? It comes with a
Mhm.
gold thread. And I made the skirt. We were taught to make it with an opening, and we threaded black velvet through ribbon through the hole and put a bow on it. And that
Oh,
was my
nice.
skating skirt. It must have been sixth or seventh grade. And you reminded me. You're reminding me of too much stuff. This is like going down memory lane here. So I'm just going to say the thing that I don't have anymore is that skating skirt. I could probably put it on my elbow now. It was kind of small, but we couldn't wear it anymore. Maybe it'd be a lampshade or a hat, but it was very tiny. But anyway, thank you for that. Very, very interesting. And sometimes, do you ever lose pairs of the mate to earrings? Do you ever lose part of an earring? Or we won't talk about socks. Do you ever
Oh,
lose an?
I don't have my ears pierced actually, so
Okay.
I don't lose. I tend to lose. I do tend to lose jewelry though, now that you bring it up. Like, I don't
Yes.
know what happens, but like,
Yes.
and I think some of it is not really losing. My kids tend to borrow it, so it's lost sort of. And then I'm like, oh, that necklace looks really familiar. I wonder where it
Yes.
came from.
It's co-opted.
So, but it's all in the family,
Oh,
it's okay.
that is funny. That is
Yeah, so
funny.
they raid my closet, they raid my jewelry, but with my permission, of course.
With your permission. When I find the other half of a pair of earrings, I've been painting. I have about 300 paintings here piled up in bags and on the floor and on walls. Every wall in my house covered with my artwork. And I was creating funny characters and caricatures. And I took the leftovers of the pairs of missing earrings and punched them. I do wear pierced earrings, punched the post through the canvas and put the little
Hmm,
thing on the back, and they become earrings and necklaces or fobs or part of a decoration or
oh, I love
eyes
that.
for some of my characters. I'll send you some pictures of them. So I reclaim the leftover earring that's looking for its mate, and I give it a new life. So, oh my goodness. So we have so much to talk about. Let's see what's happening now. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, excuse me. Hold on. Hold on. You know what's coming here. All right, hold on. Hello? Yeah, this is Bonnie D. Oh, come on. You always interrupt me when I'm on the We Dish show. Come on. Seriously? Yeah, she is really talented. Yeah, yeah, 1,000. I know. I know. This is prolific. This is dedication. Yeah. Okay. You, okay. How many of there are you? Okay, you've got Steven Spielberg is there. Hi, sir. How are you? We just did the birthday for your wife, Calista Flockhart, the other day on one of my shows. Yeah, really cool. You got Martin Scorsese with you, Ron Howard. Okay, Guy Ritchie is there. Cool. Christopher Nolan. Well, I hear her. I hear Shonda Rhimes. Hello, Shonda. Hi. Always nice to hear your voice. Wait a minute. Robert and Michelle King are there. Aaron Sorkin. Well, I hope you're having a good brunch. That's a lot of glitterati there. Okay. Now, you want me to ask Allison what? Okay, you want her to pick. It's either going to be a movie or a TV show or a TV series or a special or a film, any genre, action, drama, fantasy, musical, romance, comedy, sci-fi, thriller, time travel, anything like that. Okay. And it's not about her. Okay, but the lead character is based on her life or is about what she does, similar to her. Okay, so it's not her biopic. Okay, Allison, don't get all excited about this. Okay, you want her to pick who she wants to direct. It could be somebody who's not there in the room. Well, I mean, seriously. But all right, we'll give her the freedom to pick. Okay, and she's going to decide is it going to be a movie or a TV show? Good. And what the title is going to be? Allison, that's a lot of work. I know you're a plotter, but we got to get you to be a pantser right now. And she's going to pick the actress, the lead person to play the lead character that happens to be based on her life, but it's not her. Okay, so they could look like anything. Okay. All right, they don't have to have dark hair. They don't have to have red lipstick. Okay, she's thinking. I can see she's thinking. Okay, can we call you back, please? You know, you always interrupt my show, but I'm always so honored to have all of you, especially you, Steven Spielberg. I'm a big fan. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. I will. Oh, Chuck Lorre is there too. Chuck, I love those little cards you put on your TV shows, the little thinking cards that I pause the show and I have to read them all. Yes, those little end cards, very, very clever. Okay. All right. I'll call you back after the show. Bye bye. Thank you. Okay, Allison, sorry for the interruption. They always do this to me. Okay. So it's your pick. What is it going to be a TV show or a movie or TV show? Who is going to be the director? Could be anybody I named or anybody else. The character, the title of whatever it is. Who is the character going to be called? What actor or actress will play them? And I hope this is exciting for you. I'm excited. So go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us.
Well, I love Shonda Rhimes because I love her her Bridgerton series.
I
She's
love her
awesome.
everything. Everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything she's done is amazing.
Everything.
But I actually really love the movie Galaxy Quest because I'm a nerd at heart. And so the
Okay.
director of that was Dean Pariseau.
Okay.
And he is actually, so before I lived here in Alberta, I lived in the state of Connecticut. And he is actually from Wilton, Connecticut. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So I think I would choose him to direct a movie that was, had some connection to me
Yeah.
because he did such an amazing job with that and it was fun and funny and it made fun of the source material, but and reinforced it. So I feel like I'm somewhat have self-deprecating humor myself. So I would love to see what he would come up with in
Okay.
terms of that. And it would definitely be a dramedy, which is
Okay.
drama and comedy, because
There you
that's
go.
life. I mean, honestly,
Yes.
like, yeah, because there's a lot of very dramatic, we've all
Yes.
been through stuff.
Yes.
So there's always drama in life, but like you also got to laugh. There's completely ridiculous things about our lives where if you look at from the outside, you're like, what the heck? Someone must have been playing a prank.
We hope.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we hope, and it all turns out for the best. So I like movies with happy endings. So
Very cool.
I
So
would
what's the
definitely.
what are we calling it and who's going to be the lead person in this dramedy? I love the word dramedy.
Well, I sort of have two titles, and it really
Yeah.
depends on like, what direction it would go in. Like a huge part of my identity now, obviously not for my whole life, is being a mom.
Okay.
And I like to say that's the best and biggest accomplishment that I ever did was being a mom. So I was thinking of something like a mom for the ride, like along
Okay.
for the ride.
Okay.
Because, my life has taken very unexpected turns. And obviously, even no matter how much you know about moms and being a mom, it's always different than what you picture.
Riding with mom.
Yes, riding with mom. That would be a good
Possibly.
one. Or
Okay.
maybe something because there's been a lot of like adventures that I've gone on before I was a mom, and also as a mom. So maybe something like writers just want to have fun. Speaking of
I
Cindy
like that.
Lauper,
Okay. All right. Good.
girls just want to have fun. I don't know.
Okay. You can rewrite the lyrics and ask her if she'll sing along in the theme music. That's interesting. And
Exactly.
remember it's not your biopic, but it's based on you. So
Yes.
it all kinds of freedoms to do all kinds of things. And actress lead?
Yeah. So I wanted
Oh, is this a
to.
movie or is this a TV
It's a
series?
movie. It's a
Movie.
movie.
Okay. All right.
One thing that is a huge part of my identity is being half Japanese. So I infuse that a lot of times in my writing. It makes me want to write a lot of diverse characters who
Hmm.
come from, various backgrounds and have different cultural experiences. So the actress, and I love her because she's been in so many like great movies, but also like I don't know about you. I love rom-coms,
Hmm.
especially like around this time of year, around Christmas time. I'll put on some rom-coms, wrap some Christmas presents. It's a whole tradition for me. Is Vanessa Hudgens. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I've seen
so
her in a
she's
couple of things. Hmm.
exactly she's half Asian,
Yep.
and she's just a fabulous actor, and she has such a self-deprecating sense of humor, and she's funny. And I would love her to
Let me
play
see if I
someone loosely based.
Vanessa Hudgens. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can find a picture of her.
And
Oh
she
my
likes
goodness.
the bright lipstick.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like her.
oh, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous, as they say. Okay. Very, very interesting. So a film, Mom's Ride, Riding with Mom, something about mom, and name the director again. What was his name?
Dean Pariseau
Dean
and
Parison. Okay.
yep, from Connecticut.
Very, very cool. I'll have to call them back and tell them you didn't pick any of them, but that you send your deepest regards.
But if he can't do it, Shonda Rhimes,
I, I,
definitely.
I had a feeling. I'm a big fan of when she first, her biggest early hit, I think, was Scandal. And her
Mm.
writing is so fast that if you breathe, you miss an eyelash going in a certain direction that has something to say in the show. You miss a sigh or a comma in the dialogue. And there was something so fast about the way she writes, the way her actors interpret her lines that I always found it just fascinating, that amount of
Yeah.
dialogue. She's done so, so much. Mine, I'm a big fan of French and Italian detective shows. And
Oh,
I'm a big fan of female heroes, leads. Usually they're a cop, a detective, a researcher, something. Even High Potential with Caitlin Olsen is another one on American TV in English. And I don't know why she wears mini skirts that just barely come past the bikini line, but that's besides the point. But she's a mom of three kids who basically just sees crime scenes differently. But I love Candice Renoir and Le Juge et une femme. That was Alice Nevers. And I watch Vanina and I'm watching all kinds of shows. So mine would be this is interesting. It would be a musical detective. I've never seen.
oh, I love it.
Shonda would write it. There we go. And it would be a musical detective. And the lead would be somebody like one of my favorites, Reba McEntire. Red, and she would be, and because I've taught eBay at adult education on Long Island years ago when I was selling eBay in between jobs, when in between corporate jobs, and I was doing pretty well, she would be trying to find out the origins, the source of the provenance, as they say, of things that people were selling on eBay. And she would be, every week would be a couple of different in a classroom of people trying to teach, to learn. She would be teaching them how to buy and sell on eBay or any other online exchange site like that, uh, treasures lost and found and all that good stuff. And she would be the detective with a song about what she was, where did those shoes come from? And what was that designer originally doing? And why was this going from this person to that person? So it would be a little bit of detective. It would be a little comedy, like you said, and it would be based on some of the things I did in my classrooms, which was to create scenarios. My class, Allison, was a one time, 3 hours, 7 to 10 p.m. And people took it, believe it or not. It was a 6 PC lab. I was teaching in a computer lab, and each person had their own PC to work on. And these were doctors and lawyers, and we used to call them housewives, household engineers, and people who want, oh, I've got 1,000 books I want to sell. Oh, I have this high-end pair of boots I want to sell. Oh, I want to do this. And they came in with ideas, but I had to keep them awake for 3 hours until 10
Oh,
o'clock at
yeah.
night. So I came up with little scenarios. So I would say, you'd be in the back row. I'd say, Allison, what do you want to sell? And you'd say, oh, I have this phenomenal briefcase I bought when I was doing corporate work, and it's gorgeous, and it's leather, and it's high end, and it comes from such and such. And I'd say, great. And then I'd look at the person in the front row and I'd say, okay, Bob, you're going to be the one who's going to want to buy this because your son just graduated from law school and he needs a high-end briefcase. So you're going to be bidding on this. And then Mary in the back row, you have one similar and you want to see how Allison's briefcase does on eBay because you want to know how to price yours when you're going to sell it the following week, but you want to wait till her sells to see what the final. And I would make up a story that involved everybody in the room. Well, when I was
Nice.
calling the names, nobody dared fall asleep in my class. Nobody. Everybody stayed awake. Some of them came back into class again. So anyway, I would base it on it would be a comedy, a dramedy detective show about provenance of things that people were looking for or were ready to sell. What do you think? Would you watch it?
Oh, definitely.
Thank
I love that
you.
idea.
Thank you. It would be a special, it would be 10 episodes. And you know what? It would be modeled on Leanne Morgan just did her first season of special. I know she does a lot of stand-up specials, but she did a season where it was 19 minutes, no ads. I don't know whether it was on Paramount or what, US TV. You probably get it up there. But it was 19 minutes each episode. So you could watch 3 episodes in an hour, Allison, and fill
Oh,
1 hour. And I think it was a 15 season episode. So in 5 hours, you could watch the whole damn thing. And
definitely bingeable.
I did one weekend. So, but I love the 19 minutes. So I think taking 19 minutes and just packing, you could write that. You
Yeah.
could write that kind. We got, I'll talk to Reba and see. And Shonda and Reba, we're gonna do it. Okay, that's good. Okay,
Great
that's
match.
that's our off the top. Thank you for that very much. Now it's time for our, okay, in order to do the rest of the show, I need you to say this the right way. Otherwise, we're going to have to end early. I'm sorry, but I hope you can do it. This is a big test. You have to be able to say, just as I do, say, what? Can you do that?
Say what?
One more time.
Say what?
Not bad. Okay, you can do it then. Okay. This is the qualifying round. You really, it's very important. Let me stop the audio share. Do you have anything to share visually? I think you have some pictures with your articles, do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, the share button is open and the pool's warm and the everything's ready to go. So why don't you share and show us what you got? You do your 3 stories and I'll do my 3. Okay?
Okay, the first is actually based on my home province, Alberta, and I'm going to show a map. I don't know if
Yes.
everyone can see that.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, so essentially, Alberta is that little blue
I
province
see
in North
it.
America over to the right.
Yep.
And what that represents is a rat-free area. And you can see the only other rat-free areas are where you get very far north of, where it's inhospitable and too cold and
Yeah.
all snow. So Alberta is the only inhabited place really in the world that has no rats, and that is by design. So what happened is way back in the early 1900s, first of all, Alberta has it's prairie, so it's very sort of easy to keep um, it rat free in terms of if you're actually dedicated to doing it. So it's not like, on the coast where ships come in or planes come in or shipments come in. So back in the 1900s, when everything was getting way more global trade, one thing that hitches a ride are rats, So they actually passed in 1950 the Rat Control Act in Alberta. And that meant that they were going to make sure that Alberta stayed rat free. So they did eradication programs. They stringently checked everything coming into the province, and they've kept it up for the past 75 years. And so Alberta, you cannot have a pet rat here. You cannot, and of course they check all shipments, and if they find them, they destroy them. But yeah, if you hate rats, this is the place to live.
So it's been ratified. It's been ratified.
It's been ratified or de-ratified,
Ratified,
actually.
right. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's a
But I love that
riot.
fact. Like, it's such a little quirky thing about, like, who knew about this tiny province?
That is a say
like,
what. That's
well,
definitely
not so
a say
tiny,
what.
but yeah,
That's a
it is
definitely
definitely a say what.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Next story.
The next story, this one's funny. There's a video. I don't know if people will be able to see this video
Let's give it
played.
a try.
Yeah, I will share it.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Here we are.
yeah. Can you see that?
I am. I'm watching it. Yes.
Okay, so you can see there's this car and it's modified to have the passenger side door cut out, and this guy, and this story was written in August this year, but this guy was pulled over for having this bull riding, as you can see, on his passenger side. He converted his car, but it gets even funnier than that, because this bull is called Howdy Doody.
No.
And this is not the first time he's ridden in this car. In fact, his owner takes him. He's a full-size Watusi bull, and he takes him in this. The car is a Ford Crown Victoria, and he takes him all over. And he enters him in competitions. He's won competitions. He's an award-winning bull, but he didn't, he didn't want to put him in a trailer. So he just has him ride shotgun with him. He converted his whole car, and it's nothing illegal. He's not doing anything illegal having this bull ride with him. It's just very unusual. And so people who don't know will stop him. Like, police have stopped him numerous times, and have questioned him and said, what's going on? What's going on with this bull? So he's been in parades. He has, the bull has been afloat in a parade, this car with the bull riding there.
Does he need special tires for the car? The bull must weigh a ton.
It doesn't say. I'm guessing the tires stand up in this Crown Vic.
Wow.
But his license plate is probably one of the best parts of this whole story. So he has a personalized license plate, and it says boy and dog. That's his dog, I guess. So yeah, it's very funny. Howdy Doody.
I wanted you to keep it up again.
Do you want to see it again?
Yeah, I want to see it again.
Here's a still picture.
We had the Howdy Doody show when I was growing up, and it was a puppet. It was a puppet. Oh my!
There's a still picture of him.
Oh my
God! Just hanging out.
Best car entry. Look at that. How does he even get it in the car?
That's a good question. I mean, so you can see that on it looks like it goes down the car. He switched it so that the car ramp goes down, the car door goes down. So I'm sure he just loads them up. I mean, the bull, it seems to enjoy it.
It's gorgeous. Look at the colors on that bull. I thought it was a joke or
and
a
the
balloon
horns
or
are amazing.
Those are like goat horns, are they? I didn't know bulls had horns like that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow.
And he's totally chill. He loves it. He loves going for a ride. Again, boy and dog.
We won't
sticking
sing
his head out.
Going for a ride. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm almost afraid to ask we've got rats. We've got a bull in a car. What's your third story? This is a say what? Say what? This is say what? Say what?
Well, I don't know. I like animal stories. So you notice that my first two are animal stories. And guess what? My third one's an animal story too.
Oh dear. How would I expect that?
Okay. First I have to show, and it ties into books too. So, and being a mom. So like it ties everything together. So I have to share this book. It is called Millions of Cats, and it's been around for many, many years. It was first published in 1952. And my kids loved it when they were young. I would read it to them, and it has a refrain that keeps on repeating. It's an award-winning book. That's millions of cats, billions of cats, trillions of cats. And it goes on. And so this guy goes off to find a cat for his wife, and instead he finds 1 million cats and brings them home. and there are problems. So, but my kids love this
No.
book. They love cats. We have cats, so they loved it. So the very interesting thing. So my sister lives in Greece and she has visited all over the Mediterranean. Cyprus is actually very near where she lives. And the island of Cyprus actually has 1 million cats. It's a small island, it's not huge. And I will share this picture
Yeah.
from this article of this woman. Just, they're just feral cats. They're all over the island. Um, so if you want to see 1 million cats, if you love cats,
Oh
this is
my
the
God.
place to visit. It's actually a bit of a problem for the island. It's
A
too many
bit? A
cats.
bit?
Yes.
Are you sure it's a bit of a problem?
But yeah, my sister says the same thing she lives on an island in Greece, and there's tons of feral cats all over the place. And, the government has gotten involved in sterilization programs for
Oh,
the cats,
yep.
so that they don't have more kittens. But yeah, there are cats all over the place, and very friendly for cats. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of cats. It's literally 1 million cats on this island.
So we've had rats and cats, not in the same article, and we've had a bull in a car. Yeah,
Exactly.
this is very unique, Allison. This is probably, let me go back to double here. The screen is huge. Let me go get it down to regular size here. Here we are. Wow. Well, thank you very much. That was probably one of the most interesting say what's I've ever had. Okay. You have any more? I'm going to share mine. Are you ready for mine?
Oh, definitely. I'm so excited.
Mine are very pedantic compared to yours, lady. So let's see if I can do this. Now, let's share screen and let's see, Microsoft Word. Let's see if we can do this just to share. Yes, you should just be seeing my document here, correct?
Oh, nice. Yes.
Okay, good. So these are idioms. I don't know why I picked this one. I thought because of language and you being a writer and me being a writer that you would appreciate this. So these are idioms. I won't go into an awful lot of them, but there are 6 of them that Brits and Americans say differently. Not to be catty. Sorry. Okay, let me just go. We say toot one's own horn, meaning I'm happy and proud of myself. And they say blowing one's own trumpet, which is not that far away. Okay, that's not a big deal. Now, you might say, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. And they would say, I'm not touching it with a barge pole. A barge being a flat bottom boat. And they use the poles to push off from the dock, to propel, and to fend off objects. So they would say that. We might say it threw a wrench in the works, meaning, uh-oh, something happened to it. And they'd say through a spanner, and a British wrench is a spanner. Interestingly enough, a spanner actually is a metal tool that can get caught in a machine, apparently. So it's metaphorical. It could be bad weather, delay, or illness. So monkey wrench or a spanner. Then we say skeleton in the closet, and they say skeleton in the cupboard. I don't know exactly why, but it was documented in an 1816 edition of the British periodical The Eclectic View. Yeah, that'd be a good movie title, wouldn't it? The Eclectic View, which highlighted
I like that.
fears about diseases. So they were hiding in the cupboard. Now, you beat a dead horse. You've heard, let's not beat a dead horse, meaning, okay, enough is enough already. It's not going to work. And they would say flog a dead horse because that's a British term meaning, to beat or strike with a rod or whip. Oh my goodness, from the 17th century. We say knock on wood, they say touch wood, which is probably a lot easier than they think there's a Celtic tradition or a 19th century children's game of tag called Tiggy Touchwood. Have you ever heard of that?
I
Probably.
haven't. No, but they're also much gentler, I guess. Like we're like knock.
Aren't they? Well, flogging the dead horse sounds worse than beating to me,
That
but you're
does.
right. The other ones are skeleton in the cupboard. I like that one. It's
It's a
like,
smaller space.
do you have sugar or no, we have a skeleton in the cupboard. Yes, that's good. Then I have some of the I thought you get a kick at the oldest selfies. Now we all know that in
Oh,
2023 Paris Hilton said she invented the selfie and she said
what?
I know. And she was posing with Britney Spears saying 17 years ago I invented the selfie. Was she joking? Well, heck yes, it wasn't true. The selfies were taken 150 years before she decided she did. So I found some early pictures of people taking selfies. This was 1839. Robert Cornelius stood in front of a makeshift camera in the yard of his family's gaslighting business, and he attempted to take a photo. He had to stand still Allison, for up to 15 minutes to allow for exposure time. That's a pretty damn good picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very dramatic. Yes, I know. I won't go into the full history there. And then we have this woman, unidentified Edwardian. This was a modern photo poser in the selfie mirror. It's been done, well done for over a century. One of the most famous said was taken by this Edwardian woman using a Kodak Brownie camera in 1900. I didn't know they went back that far. Okay, and then we have another one here. This is Harold Casno. I hope I'm saying he's from Australia, and he was a photographer. Landscapes, urban scenes, intimate portraits, and a self-portrait. He was considered an early adopter when it came to selfies. This was self-portrait when he was 26. He looks like he's 56. I'm sorry. Oh no, this one was taken in 1937. So this, yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I
So
was
this was,
gonna say,
thank
yeah.
goodness. So this was taken
That's a
33
rough
years ago.
26.
He was 59.
Yes.
I wasn't reading fast enough. I'm sorry. They say his compositions were well considered. Yes, Nature's Woods. Okay. And then we have one, this was a little elongated, Joseph Byron. These examples aren't really selfies. Well, if you're thinking that, he is photographing Broadway shows and stage productions while documenting New York City life. He took self-portraits standing on the roof of a building on Fifth Avenue in 1909. The camera is held in outstretched arms. This was a real selfie as we know it. Interesting. Look at the stash and the hands. Isn't that clever?
Yeah.
Odd perspective. Yes, yes. And we have one more of this. This is the Grand Duchess Anastasia, Grand Duchess of Russia and the youngest daughter of Tsar Nicholas II, last Emperor of Russia. She took a handful of self-portraits using, again, a Kodak Brownie camera and a mirror taken in her bedroom at Alexander Palace, among the first ever selfies taken by royalty that they know of and could represent the first teen selfies. The images are tinged with tragedy. We won't talk about the tragedy. She doesn't look too happy, but thank you for this. I appreciate this. And then I have a final, say what? You ready for this?
Mhm.
You may know some of these, your kids may know some. These were forgotten collectibles, mostly toys and games from the 1950s. I don't remember them either. We remember Frisbee. We still got Frisbee around. Mr. Potato Head is still around. Well, here are some that really aren't around anymore. Robert the Robot. I have never seen this. This was inspired by Isaac Asimov's I, Robot in 1950, and the movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still, hordes of American children grew up playing with tin toy robots in the 50s. I have no clue about this. The market was jolted in 54 with Ideal Toy Company's Robert the Robot, the first plastic toy robot made in the US, with wheels and a hand-cranked remote control. He was 14 inches tall. Would you have bought this for your kids, Allison?
I mean, if they wanted it, sure. Like I bet you, because my dad is a huge Asimov fan. I bet you he had one of these.
I bet he did. And it said you could make it's talk. I am Robert Robot, mechanical man. Drive me and steer me wherever you can. Can you believe that? And there were records that inspired songs. Not I had a little Ginny doll, so, and I wasn't around then. And this one I've never seen. This is the Wheel O. Maggie Magnetic Incorporated in the 50s, a double prong piece of curved wire and a red plastic wheel with a magnetized axle. Can you even?
I
The
had one of these. As a
Get
kid, I
out.
did.
You're kidding.
I did. I did. It was so much fun because it would go, is magnetic and it would stick to the metal. So it would go back and forth on the inside, on the outside, and it would loop around. I had one of these as a kid.
Well, I'm glad. See, I should have known that. Now we do. And this is the diving sub. It's baking powder powered. Can you
Oh,
believe this? Henry and Benjamin Hirsch in 1955. This was a prize you could dig out of a cereal box, I guess. Kellogg's bought this from them. It's a tiny plastic submersible, featured an empty chamber that you would fill with baking powder or Alka-Seltzer. What?
oh,
You close it up, you put it in water, it would sink to the bottom until the water reacted with the baking powder. It made CO2 bubbles and pushed it back up to the surface. Can you believe this?
Oh, what a clever toy. I love
Is
that.
that something baking powder somewhere? I was just probably too girly. I don't know. These Wings friend or foe trading cards. Now, this was, of course, we know some of us that 1952 Topps card of New York Yankee star Mickey Mantle can sell for up to $12 million. And they also produced a 200 card Wings set. These were military aircraft from companies that participated in World War
Hmm.
II and the Korean War. These sold in chewing gum packs for 1 to 5 cents, and they displayed a plane or helicopter horizontally on one side. On the back was the statistics and a silhouette of another aircraft, and they wanted you to decide, was it friend or foe? And they wanted you to buy more cards. Is that interesting?
Yeah, I wonder how many people actually collected those.
I don't know. They're certainly not as collectible as the baseball cards, so
No?
thank you very much. This was Chatty Cathy. I didn't own a Chatty Cathy. Did you?
No, I didn't. I've heard of Chatty Cathy though. I think
I've heard of her too.
yeah,
Now, we
family
all know.
members had them.
I don't know if you know that the Barbie was named after Ruth Handler's daughter. Ruth was the co-founder of Mattel Toys, Ruth Handler. But this was not the same. Mattel introduced Chatty Cathy, the first commercially successful talking doll. Okay. Talking dolls have been around since 1890. That's 670 years before. But they made screechy noises. Sorry about that. And so Chatty Cathy could deliver 11 phrases recorded by a voice actress named June Foray. You pulled a string, it connected to a little phonograph inside. Mattel phased her out in 65, re-released her in the 70s, and re-released her in the 90s. And we have one more. Give a show projector. Let me see. Yes, that's the one. Then we go to your story. Give a show projector. Kenner had this projector. It was the kids' version of a slide projector that parents were using in their living rooms to show slides of their vacations and school trips and everything like that. It was a flashlight with a lens and a slot for putting a colorful film strip across the light. It beamed images up to 4 feet tall on a wall. It came with 16 slide strips featuring popular TV characters. You know these, Rocky and Bullwinkle, George of the Jungle. That was a kid's book. Captain Kangaroo. Okay, Bob Keeshan. A format that enabled users to tell a story and proved a match for licensing tie-ins. Later, they added the talking show projector, which had a record with spoken stories, and the super show projector with blank slides and puppets so that you could act out your own narrative. So those are my say what. What do you think? Pretty cool.
Very cool. I was also thinking when you talked about the selfies, have you ever heard of the artist Cindy Sherman?
I might have. What about her?
Oh, you should look her up. Like, so her whole um artistic, expression was she would take selfies of herself posed as different people. So
Ah,
yeah, so it was very interesting. So like you would look at her photographs and be like, is this the same person? This can't be the same person. They look completely different. But she'd do whole setups, she'd do makeup, wigs, everything. Like, but her work, it's been featured in like MoMA. Um,
really?
it's amazing, and I love the breadth of her photographs. So
Very
if you're
cool.
interested in the history of the selfie, look up
I will
Cindy
look.
Sherman because that
I
was her
will.
whole thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, you outdid yourself on the say what. Thank you. The animal stories were great. Now, question. Last conversation piece. Future Saucy Dame watching you today or meeting you through some of your book tours or your signings or your website or wherever they find you and say, oh, I want to be a really cool saucy dame like Alison McBain. That almost rhymed. So what would you suggest to them? What are your, if you were mentoring a young woman or anybody who wanted to be a saucy dame like you of any age, what would you say to them? Give them a couple tips.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's one major one, which is especially for new writers, new creatives, they're unsure of themselves. They're not sure about what they're putting out there, how it compares. And I was the same way when I first started out. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Why would anyone listen to me or read my writing? But the thing I found after years of doing this is what people like is when you're just you,
Hmm.
when you're not trying to take on other voices or be, say, oh, okay, this genre is super hot. I better write in this genre. Or,
Hmm.
just be you. Write the stories that you want to write. Tell the stories that you want to tell. Do the art that you want to do. Like, don't worry about what other people are doing. There's always going to be someone who is better than you, and there will always be people who are, worse at something than you. Just be you. And that is the best advice that I can give, like, no matter
Yeah.
what creative art you're pursuing.
I call that, a lot of people call that be authentic. I call it real deal. Be the real
Yeah,
deal, the real
definitely.
you. And what I tell people is I've mentored a couple of women when I was in the corporate world, the enterprise world, and I would say to them, if you see an opportunity, if there's a little tiny crack in the window, letting a little air or light in, open the damn window and see what's outside. And Leonard Cohen included something like that. I think it was a door in one of his songs, one of his poems. And he said, if you see a light on the other, I think it was light in the window. I say light in the window or a light coming through the door. Push the damn door open and see what's on the other side. Allison, you've had several careers. I'm on my ninth or 10th or 12th or 20th already. And it's eclectic. Life can be eclectic. We don't need to be the company man or woman that our grandparents were, where you work for one place, one thing, one company, one product your whole life. You can branch out. You can play the drums. You can play the flute. You can play the violin. You can write 1,000 words a minute. I'm sorry. You can write movies and plays. You can be a drummer. You can be a mom or a dad or a foster parent to anything, to furry animals and furry kids if you want. You can do anything, but find the opportunities and don't shy away from them. Don't be afraid to say, what's on the other side of that door? Not in a scary movie, though. That I wouldn't recommend that. Anyway,
Definitely not.
Allison, it has been a pure pleasure, a sheer delight. I'm always so happy when you're on my shows. As I said, you did my Happy Birthday to You show about a week ago, and it was a delight. I hope you'll come back and yeah, just keep writing.
Definitely. Yeah, thank
What's
you
your
so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Any new books on the back burner or the front burner? Any new titles coming out?
Not right now, but hopefully shortly I will have some news.
Okay, well, you'll keep us posted. So let's play our outro here. We can get this to go. Okay. Thank you again to Serge Huffman, who I wrote the lyrics, he wrote
So
the
you
music,
wanna
and he
be
sings. That's a French American
a
accent. A cool kid.
hanging with the
Hanging with the inset. We're the inset. Allison and I. We're the inset. We're real. Cool. So fine. Casting our net. Nothing fake about us.
So you wanna be
Drums are in the other room. Pop, 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 pop. Thank you for the music, Serge. I'm Bonnie D, signing off another wonderful edition of We Dish 2. All